Distraction doesn't just steal your time, it steals your life and keeps you from doing what actually matters. You weren't born to chase noise. You were made to focus on what brings peace, purpose, and results. Clarity comes when you stop giving your energy to things that don't move your life forward. If it's not adding value, it's subtracting it. We live in a world that constantly pulls us in every direction. Notifications, opinions, pressure, all fighting for our attention. But the truth is, the life you want is hiding behind the clutter you tolerate. Today we will talk about how to silence the unnecessary, reclaim your focus, and put your energy where it truly counts. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters and doing it fully. If you're ready to shut out the noise and give your focus to what truly moves you forward, then let's dive in. Number 1. Define your most important goals clearly every morning. Most people wake up every day already feeling behind. The moment their eyes open, their thoughts are flooded with stress work, bills, messages, deadlines, noise. They grab their phone before they even stand up, scroll through social media, respond to a few messages, check the news, and by the time they brush their teeth, they're already reacting to the world instead of taking charge of their day. That's how most people live, rushed, distracted, and overwhelmed. And it's no surprise they feel lost, tired, and unfulfilled. They keep moving, but they don't feel like they're getting anywhere. They're busy, but they're not growing. They're active, but they're not alive. You cannot live like that and expect to build a life you're proud of. That kind of life wears you down. It steals your spirit. It makes you forget what you really want. You've got to stop starting your day on accident. You've got to take your time back. You've got to claim your morning before the world gets its hands on you. And the first step, before you check your phone, before you open your email, before you do anything, is this. Sit down, take a breath, and define your most important goals clearly. Not someday, not later. Every morning. That's how focused people live. That's how successful people build their lives on purpose. Clarity is power. When your goals are clear, your mind has direction. You don't get pulled by every distraction because you know what matters. You don't waste time trying to please everyone because you already know what you're working toward. Without clarity, you'll be busy with things that don't move your life forward. And at the end of the day, you'll wonder why you're exhausted but feel like nothing changed. When you don't define your goals, other people will define them for you. And let me tell you, the world is full of people who would love to use your time for their benefit. Don't hand it over. Every morning, you need to get still, even just 5 minutes. Sit down with a notebook or a blank page. Ask yourself, what do I need to accomplish today that truly matters? Not just what needs to get done, but what matters to my future, to my vision, to the life I'm building. What is the one thing that if I got it done, I would feel proud and aligned with my purpose? Write that down. Make it specific. Don't just write, be productive. Write, finish the proposal that moves my career forward. Don't just write, work out. Write, run 3 miles so I feel energized and build the habit I promised myself. Be exact. When you're vague, you give your mind an excuse to wander. But when you're specific, your mind locks in. Now, this isn't about writing a long to-do list. A to-do list is just noise unless it's tied to something real. Focus on what truly matters, what moves the needle, what builds the life you want. That's your job in the morning, not to just be busy, but to be intentional. You're not here to survive another day. You're here to build one. It's not about what everyone else thinks is important. It's about what's important to you, what brings you alive, what gives you energy, what's worth working for even when you're tired. That's the goal you write down. That's the priority. When you define it in the morning, you anchor yourself. You stop floating. You stop chasing shallow things. You stay grounded in something meaningful. And don't just write it once and forget it. Keep it visible. Keep it in front of you, on your desk, on a sticky note, on your phone background. Every time your mind starts drifting, come back to it. Every time you feel overwhelmed, come back to it. Every time a new task shows up and tries to take your attention, ask, does this move me closer to my goal today? If it doesn't, let it wait. If it does, give it your focus. The reason most people don't feel fulfilled is not because they're not working hard. It's because they're not working toward the right things. You can spend a decade climbing a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. Don't let that be you. You've got to check in with yourself every single morning. Are you still aiming at the right target? Are you still aligned with what matters? Are you still building a life that reflects your values? This habit defining your goals every morning doesn't take long, but it changes everything. It trains your brain to focus. It helps you say no to things that don't matter. It gives your day a center of gravity. Without it, you're spinning. With it, you're steady, focused, grounded. You'll notice your stress go down, not because life got easier, but because your direction got clearer. You'll notice you stop chasing what everyone else is doing, not because you don't care, but because you know what you care about. You'll feel less pulled by pressure and more driven by purpose. And over time, something beautiful happens. You stop living on autopilot. You stop feeling like a victim of your schedule. You start to wake up with intention, with clarity, with quiet determination. Because when you know what matters, you stop giving energy to what doesn't. You don't need to fix your whole life in one day. You just need to start each day with clarity. That's how things change. Slowly, steadily, deliberately. You won't see it all at once. But trust me, one focused day leads to another. One meaningful task builds into momentum. One clear morning creates a week of progress. And one day, you'll look back and realize you're not where you used to be. You're not overwhelmed anymore. You're not lost. You're building something real. And it all started with one morning where you took 5 minutes, got honest with yourself and said, this is what matters today. Number 2. Remove all digital distractions during focused work time. You ever sit down to get something important done, and before you know it, you're picking up your phone, scrolling through something pointless, checking a notification that didn't matter, clicking a link that led to nowhere. 10 minutes pass. Then 20. Then an hour. And suddenly, the time you set aside to make real progress just disappears. And you tell yourself you'll get back on track. But it keeps happening. Again and again. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're distracted. And in today's world, distraction isn't just common, it's designed. Everything you see on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, it's all made to steal your focus. The colors, the sounds, the alerts, the vibrations, it's engineered to get your attention and keep it. And if you're not careful, your best hours will be spent reacting to things that add no value to your life. You sit down with good intentions, but before you can even build momentum, you're pulled away by noise. Not because it's urgent, not because it's important, but because it's accessible. That's the trap. If you want to do work that matters, deep work, clear work, work that moves your goals forward, you must learn to protect your attention like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Every minute you lose to distraction is a minute you don't get back. And the cost of those minutes isn't just time, it's progress, it's peace of mind, it's your potential. People don't realize how much energy they lose just by switching tasks. Every time you look at your phone while working, your brain takes a hit. It needs to refocus. It burns mental fuel. And if you do that 50 times a day, guess what? You're exhausted by the evening, not because you did too much, but because you never gave yourself a chance to lock in and focus. Your mind is powerful, but only when you give it space. Start thinking about your focused work time as sacred, not flexible, not negotiable. When it's time to work on something important, your phone should be on silent and out of sight, not face down on the desk, not buzzing in your pocket. Put it away, if possible in another room. You don't need to check it every few minutes. Nothing meaningful happens that frequently. If it's urgent, they'll call. If it's not, it can wait. Turn off your notifications. All of them. You don't need a beep every time someone likes your post. You don't need a ding when someone sends you a meme. You don't need a banner when there's a new sale online. These things are not emergencies. They are distractions disguised as importance, and they rob you of the time you need to build something better. When you sit down to do focused work, your environment should be built for concentration. Close the tabs you're not using. Shut down anything that isn't connected to your current task. Make it harder for distractions to reach you. The harder it is to get distracted, the more likely you'll stay in the zone. And be honest with yourself. Do you really need to check your messages that often? Most people check their phones out of habit, not necessity. It's a reflex. They feel bored or stuck, so they look for something easier, something faster, something to numb the discomfort of doing hard things. But that's exactly why they stay stuck. You don't grow by reacting to every impulse. You grow by learning to sit with discomfort and keep moving forward. This isn't about living like a monk, it's about protecting your best hours. If you can give yourself 2 hours of focused, undistracted effort every day, that's more than most people give themselves in a whole week. That's where progress happens. That's where results come from. And the good news is, it's all in your control. If you work on a computer, consider using tools that block access to certain websites during focus time. There are apps for that. Use them. Or better yet, develop the discipline to not need them. But start where you are. The goal is to train your mind to stay in the work, to stay in the moment, without checking out every 5 minutes. If you live or work around others, let them know when you're unavailable. A simple boundary can go a long way. I'll be focusing on something important from 9 to 11. Please don't interrupt unless it's urgent. That one sentence can buy you hours of deep, productive time. But none of this works unless you believe your time is worth protecting. If you don't value your attention, no one else will. If you don't take your work seriously, no one else will. And if you keep giving your best hours to distractions, you'll keep getting average results. You don't need more time, you need fewer distractions. There's a reason so many people feel overwhelmed today. It's not because they have too much to do. It's because they have too much pulling at them all the time. When you're constantly reacting, you never feel grounded. You never feel accomplished. You never feel in control. But once you start removing the noise, something shifts. You start to feel calm. You start to feel clear. You start to feel powerful. And that's the gift of focus. It brings you back to yourself. It reminds you that you don't have to live scattered. You don't have to respond to everything right away. You don't have to chase every notification. You get to choose where your attention goes. And where your attention goes, your life follows. The work that matters most requires silence. Not just outer silence, but inner silence. A space where your mind can think, create, and solve problems. That space doesn't happen on accident. You've got to make it. You've got to fight for it. Because if you don't, the world will fill it with noise. And here's what's amazing. Once you experience real focus, you'll never want to go back. You'll feel the difference in your energy, in your confidence, in the quality of your work. You'll start to get things done that used to take you twice as long. You'll feel more accomplished with less stress. And most of all, you'll start to trust yourself again, because you'll know that when it's time to show up, you can block out the noise and do the work. Number 3, prioritize tasks that directly impact your biggest goals. It's a hard truth that most people spend their days running in circles, chasing tasks that don't really matter. They're busy all day long, but at the end of it, they wonder why they haven't moved forward. This is not about laziness or lack of effort. This is about the invisible problem of poor priorities. The truth is, not everything you do has equal value. Many tasks take up your time and energy without actually pushing you closer to what you want. If you want to cut out the noise and focus on what really matters, you must start by looking closely at what you spend your time doing. Then you need to get ruthless about prioritizing only the tasks that have a real impact on your biggest goals. People often confuse being busy with being productive. The phone keeps ringing, emails keep flooding, people want your attention, problems pop up everywhere, and suddenly you're juggling 20 things. But out of those 20 things, maybe only 1 or 2 actually lead to your progress. Everything else is just noise. It doesn't mean those things aren't important in a general sense. They may be necessary, but they don't directly move your life forward in the way you want. They don't build your vision. If you don't recognize this, you risk spending your best hours on distractions disguised as tasks. The first step in prioritizing is clarity about your biggest goals. What are you working toward? What are the outcomes that truly matter in your life and work? Once you have those goals clearly defined, you can measure every task against them. If a task does not serve those goals, it's not a priority. It doesn't belong in your focused time. Saying yes to everything means saying no to what matters most. And that's where people get stuck. When your day is filled with low-impact tasks, your energy drains quickly. You feel tired and frustrated, but your goals stay untouched. This is because your mind and effort are scattered. The brain isn't meant to work well on a dozen small, unrelated things at once. It thrives when it has a clear target to aim at. If you want to get real results, you have to focus your energy on the few tasks that deliver the biggest results. Here's the problem. It's easy to avoid the important tasks because they often require more effort, more thought, more discomfort. They push you out of your comfort zone. The less important tasks are easier, faster, and often more immediately rewarding, so people stick to those. But comfort doesn't build progress. Growth happens on the other side of discipline. To prioritize effectively, start by listing all the tasks you think you need to do. Then ask yourself a simple question for each. Does this task bring me closer to my most important goal? If the answer is no, ask yourself if it's something that can be delegated, delayed, or deleted. It's not a weakness to say no or to let go of things. It's a sign of strength and wisdom. One useful tool is to categorize your tasks into 3 groups: high impact, medium impact, and low impact. High-impact tasks are those that directly influence your goals, move projects forward, or build skills that matter. Medium-impact tasks support the high-impact ones but don't have as much immediate value. Low-impact tasks are often routine, administrative, or simply distractions that fill time but don't contribute meaningfully. Once you've sorted your tasks this way, schedule your day around the high-impact group. Working on high-impact tasks requires intentional blocks of time when you can focus deeply. This means protecting those time blocks from interruptions and distractions. During those periods, avoid checking emails or social media. Don't allow meetings or calls unless absolutely necessary. This is your sacred time to move the needle. You must also recognize that priorities can shift. What mattered yesterday might not be what matters today. A regular review of your tasks and goals is essential. Weekly or daily check-ins help you adjust your priorities as circumstances change. Staying flexible while keeping your focus sharp is a balancing act. If you get too rigid, you can miss opportunities. If you're too loose, you'll lose direction. The key is to be intentional with every task you accept or start. Another important point is how you start your day. Don't dive into emails or random tasks. Begin with your high-impact tasks. This sets the tone. It builds momentum. It creates a sense of accomplishment early on, which fuels the rest of your day. If you start with distractions, you may never get to what really matters. It's also vital to protect yourself from urgency disguised as importance. Just because something screams for immediate attention doesn't mean it's valuable. Learn to distinguish between urgent and important. Urgent tasks demand attention now, but don't always align with your long-term goals. Important tasks build your future. Your job is to give important tasks the priority they deserve, even when urgent things try to steal your focus. Saying no to non-priority tasks is one of the hardest but most empowering skills. It might upset people or cause discomfort, but it protects your time and energy. You're not responsible for solving everyone's problems or attending every meeting. You are responsible for your progress, and sometimes that means setting firm boundaries and sticking to them. Remember, your day will fill up quickly. If you don't choose what goes in, others will choose for you. And usually, their priorities aren't your priorities. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be everywhere. You only have to do what moves you forward. When you start focusing on the right tasks, you'll notice a powerful change. Your confidence grows because you see results. Your stress decreases because your work feels meaningful. Your energy multiplies because you're no longer drained by chasing distractions. And the best part is, progress builds momentum. Small wins become bigger wins. You feel motivated to keep going. Prioritizing isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily habit. Every day, review your tasks and align them with your goals. Keep refining what deserves your attention. This kind of focus separates those who get things done from those who just get busy. It's the difference between building a life and simply surviving the day. This is your opportunity. You can take control of your time by choosing what deserves your attention. You can decide which tasks matter and which don't. You can protect your energy and build momentum on the things that truly count. It takes practice, courage, and discipline, but the results are worth every effort. Start today by looking at your list. Ask the hard questions. Make the tough choices. Choose what moves you closer to your biggest goals. The noise will fade when you make your priorities loud and clear, and your life will begin to change. Number 4. Create a quiet workspace to improve concentration instantly. Most people don't realize how much their environment controls their ability to focus. They try to work in noisy, cluttered, or chaotic spaces and then wonder why they feel distracted, frustrated, or stuck. This isn't a sign of weakness or lack of willpower. It's simply how the human mind responds to its surroundings. Your brain craves calm and order when you're trying to concentrate. When your workspace is noisy or cluttered, your mind is constantly fighting to filter out distractions, which drains your energy and breaks your focus. If you want to cut out the noise and truly concentrate on what matters, creating a quiet, peaceful workspace isn't just helpful, it's necessary. Imagine trying to read an important letter in the middle of a construction site. You're surrounded by loud noises, movement, and interruptions. You'd have to strain to catch every word. Your brain would get tired quickly because it's forced to work harder just to hear the message. Your workday is no different. If your workspace is filled with noise, be it loud conversations, music with lyrics, notifications, or the clutter of papers and devices, your brain is working overtime to filter that out. The result? Fatigue, mistakes, and less productivity. A quiet workspace is more than just removing noise. It's about creating an environment that tells your brain it's time to focus. When your surroundings are calm and organized, your mind can settle into the work without constant interruptions. This allows your thoughts to flow clearly, ideas to form naturally, and decisions to come more easily. You don't have to fight for attention because your environment supports your concentration. The challenge is that many people don't have a perfect office or quiet room at home or work. That's understandable. But quiet doesn't mean you need a soundproof chamber. It means you control what you can control. If you work in a noisy house, close the door. Use noise-canceling headphones or listen to simple background sounds like white noise or instrumental music. Turn off radios, TVs, and anything that pulls your attention away. If your workspace is cluttered, take time each day to clear it. The physical mess creates mental mess. Clearing your desk clears your mind. Lighting also plays a part. Bright, natural light helps you stay alert. Harsh fluorescent lights can tire you. Dim yellow lighting makes you sleepy. Adjust your workspace lighting to feel comfortable and energizing. This small change can boost your concentration more than you think. Many people don't consider how important their chair and desk setup are. Physical discomfort causes your mind to wander. If you're constantly adjusting your seat or straining your neck, you'll lose focus. Invest time in making your workspace ergonomic. Sit in a way that supports your posture. Keep your screen at eye level. Having your body comfortable means your mind is free to focus. When distractions are inevitable, prepare for them. Tell those around you when you need quiet time. Set clear boundaries. It might feel awkward or selfish at first, but protecting your concentration is a necessity for your success. If people respect your workspace, you'll be able to get more done in less time. And that respect often grows when they see the results you produce. A quiet workspace also gives you space to think deeply. Many important ideas come when your mind is calm. When you're surrounded by noise, your thoughts get jumbled. You might have solutions just out of reach, but your brain can't find them because it's overwhelmed. Creating quiet lets your mind breathe. It helps you connect the dots faster. It encourages creativity and problem solving. If you work from home or remotely, your workspace can also affect your mental state. Having a dedicated, quiet place to work separates your professional life from your personal life. This separation makes it easier to get into work mode when you sit down and to relax when you walk away. Without this boundary, work can bleed into every part of your day, causing stress and burnout. A quiet workspace helps you create that important division. You can also enhance your focus by setting a routine in your workspace. When you enter this quiet place, your brain begins to associate it with productivity. Over time, this conditioning makes it easier to concentrate. You don't have to push yourself as hard because the environment itself supports your work. This isn't about perfection. Your workspace won't always be ideal. There will be interruptions and noise, but every effort you make to improve it counts. Even small changes can produce big results. A clean desk, a closed door, a pair of headphones. These simple actions build a foundation for focus that grows stronger with time. It's important to remember that your environment is a tool, not a cure-all. You still need to cultivate discipline and good habits, but the right space makes those habits easier to keep. When your workspace invites focus, you waste less time trying to fight distractions and more time building the life you want. Most people spend hours each day in their workspace. If that space drains their energy, it steals hours of potential. If that space supports their concentration, it adds hours of progress. The choice is yours. You can let the noise control you, or create a quiet place where your mind can work clearly and powerfully. The silence in your workspace becomes a kind of signal to your brain. It tells you this is the place where you do the work that matters. It sets a tone of seriousness and respect for your own time. That tone helps you push through tough tasks, solve complex problems, and maintain steady progress. Quiet gives your mind the chance to do what it's designed to do, focus deeply, and deliver your best effort. If you want to build anything worthwhile, you need space for your mind to think without constant interruptions. Creating a quiet workspace is one of the simplest but most effective ways to cut out distractions and get closer to your goals. It's a step anyone can take, no matter their situation, and one that pays off immediately in your ability to concentrate. You deserve a space where your mind can settle, where ideas can grow, and where work feels manageable instead of overwhelming. That space is not a luxury. It's a foundation for success. You're in control of your environment. Make it work for you. Number 5. Use time blocking to dedicate hours to key projects. The reality is this. Most people feel like they never have enough time. The day slips through their fingers, and before they know it, the hours are gone with little to show for it. This frustration comes from scattered attention and unplanned schedules. When tasks pop up randomly, when meetings fill the day without purpose, or when distractions pull you every which way, it feels like there's no space left for what really matters. If you want to cut out the noise and focus on what truly moves you forward, you have to take control of your time. Time blocking is one of the most powerful ways to do this. It's not just a productivity trick. It's a way to protect your focus and make sure your biggest goals get the attention they deserve. The first thing to understand is that time isn't flexible. There are only 24 hours in a day and you can't stretch them. What you can do is decide how you use those hours. Time blocking means scheduling specific chunks of time on your calendar for particular tasks or projects. When those hours are blocked off, nothing else is allowed in. This isn't about multitasking or jumping between things. It's about giving your full attention to one thing at a time. It's a promise you make to yourself that during this time, your work on your key projects is the top priority. Most people work with a to-do list, and that's a start, but it's not enough. To-do lists are helpful for knowing what to do, but they don't tell you when you'll do it. Without scheduling, those tasks tend to get pushed aside by urgent but less important demands. Time blocking forces you to put your goals on the calendar, turning good intentions into real action. When you block time for a project, you're creating a container for focused work. That container keeps you from slipping into distractions. It makes your day predictable and manageable. You know exactly what you're working on and when. This reduces stress because you don't have to figure it out on the fly. Your day has a clear structure. It's important to choose blocks of time that match the demands of your work. Some tasks require deep concentration and creative thinking. Those deserve longer blocks of 60 to 90 minutes, uninterrupted by phone calls or emails. Other tasks, like checking emails or returning calls, might fit into shorter 15 or 30-minute blocks. Organizing your day this way respects the natural rhythms of your mind and body. Starting your day with time blocked for your most important project sets a powerful tone. You're putting first things first. Instead of reacting to whatever comes up, you're leading your day with purpose. This builds momentum and confidence. As you complete focused work in these blocks, you create visible progress that fuels motivation. It's crucial to protect these time blocks fiercely. That means no interruptions, no distractions, and no multitasking during these periods. Close your email, silence your phone, and let people around you know you're not to be disturbed. It's about creating a sacred space for your work, just like we talked about with quiet workspaces. The difference here is that you're not just setting a place but setting a time commitment as well. The power of time blocking also comes from its ability to stop procrastination. When a project feels overwhelming, it's easy to avoid it. But if you have a specific scheduled time for that task, it becomes manageable. You don't have to do everything at once. You only have to work on it during the block you've set. This breaks large projects into achievable steps and builds steady progress. Another benefit is that time blocking helps you see where your time is really going. At the end of the week, review your calendar. Are your blocks aligned with your priorities? Are you spending more time on urgent but unimportant tasks? This kind of review helps you adjust your schedule and habits to focus more on what really matters. It's also important to be realistic when you block time. Don't overschedule or assume you can work at full capacity all day long. Leave space between blocks to rest, reflect, or handle unexpected tasks. These buffers prevent burnout and keep your focus sharp during your dedicated work time. Sometimes you'll have to say no to meetings or requests that don't fit into your blocked time. This can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're used to always being available. But it's necessary. Saying no protects the quality of your work and respects your goals. When people see that you value your time and priorities, they begin to respect them too. You don't have to block your whole day at once. Start with blocking just a few key hours for your most important projects. Build the habit gradually. As you experience the benefits, you'll want to protect more time and get even more done. Incorporating breaks between blocks is equally important. The brain needs rest to stay sharp. Use short pauses to stand, stretch, breathe deeply, or take a walk. These breaks refresh your mind and prepare you to dive back in with energy. Time blocking is a commitment to your future self. It's a way of saying you value your goals enough to protect the time they need. It turns vague plans into concrete action. It transforms a scattered day into a focused one. When your work has a home on your calendar, you reduce the stress of uncertainty. You don't wonder what to do next or waste time deciding. You simply follow your plan. This makes every minute count. Many successful people use time blocking because it works. It helps them stay on track, avoid distractions, and make steady progress toward their goals. It's a simple tool, but powerful. If you want to cut out the noise and get real work done, schedule your day with intention. Give your most important projects the time and space they deserve. Protect those blocks fiercely. This habit alone will change the way you work and the results you get. You have control over your time. Use time blocking to take that control and create a day that leads you closer to your dreams. When your focus is protected, your work becomes more meaningful and your goals come within reach. Number 6, learn to say no to non-essential commitments firmly. Most people live with this constant pressure to say yes to everything. It's a heavy burden, and it steals more than just your time. It drains your energy, scatters your focus, and pulls you away from the things that really count. Saying yes when you should say no is the silent enemy of progress. The truth is, every time you agree to a non-essential task or commitment, you're giving away minutes and hours that could have been spent moving closer to your most important goals. If you want to cut out the noise and focus on what really matters, learning to say no isn't just helpful, it's essential. The problem isn't that people want to help or be part of things. It's that they don't realize the cost of overcommitting. Every extra obligation takes a piece of your day, and often those pieces add up to significant chunks of time. When you fill your schedule with things that don't align with your priorities, your goals lose the attention they deserve. This doesn't just slow progress, it can grind it to a halt. Many feel guilty saying no. They worry about disappointing others or missing out. They fear rejection or conflict. This fear can keep them trapped in a cycle of overload. But the reality is, you don't owe everyone your time and energy. Your first responsibility is to yourself and the future you want to build. Saying no isn't selfish, it's smart. It's about protecting your ability to focus and perform at your best. The power of saying no comes from clarity. When you know exactly what matters most to you, it becomes easier to spot commitments that don't fit. If a request doesn't support your goals, it's a non-essential. That's your cue to say no firmly. This clarity removes hesitation and guilt, because you're not rejecting people, you're choosing your priorities. It's important to be direct and respectful when saying no. You don't need to over-explain or apologize excessively. A simple, clear, "No, I can't take that on right now," is enough. When you communicate confidently, people are more likely to respect your boundaries. Wavering or making excuses often invites more requests. Firmness sets the tone. Learning to say no also means recognizing your limits. You have a finite amount of time and energy each day. Taking on too much leads to stress, burnout, and lower quality work. Saying no preserves your ability to give your best to the things that matter most. This benefits you and everyone counting on your best effort. When you say no, you're also saying yes to focus, rest, and intentional progress. These are the building blocks of success. Every no you give to a distraction is a yes to your future. This mindset shift changes how you view boundaries. They become tools for growth, not barriers. Practice is key. Saying no doesn't come naturally to everyone at first. Start small by declining minor requests that pull you off course. Notice how it feels to take back control of your time. Gradually build the habit of evaluating each commitment through the lens of your priorities before agreeing. It's also helpful to prepare responses in advance. When you know you'll be asked to do things outside your focus, having ready phrases makes it easier to say no without hesitation. Examples like, "I'm focusing on a project right now, so I can't commit," or "I appreciate the offer, but I'm prioritizing other things at the moment," communicate your position clearly and politely. You'll find that most people understand when you set boundaries. In fact, respecting your time often inspires respect from others. It signals professionalism and seriousness about your goals. Over time, this respect can create an environment where your focus is supported rather than challenged. Sometimes, saying no means rethinking your involvement in ongoing activities. If you're part of groups, committees, or regular obligations that don't align with your priorities, it's okay to step back. This frees up space for projects that have real impact. It also reduces mental clutter, which makes your focus sharper. Saying no isn't about shutting down opportunities, it's about choosing the right ones. Not every chance that comes your way is the right path. Protecting your time helps you say yes to the opportunities that truly move you forward. This focused yes is more valuable than many scattered ones. Avoid the trap of feeling guilty for not being available to everyone all the time. You are not responsible for other people's expectations if those expectations harm your progress. Your value comes from your ability to focus and produce results, not from how many favors or tasks you say yes to. Some people mistake saying no as being rude or difficult. The opposite is true. Being clear and honest about your limits creates healthier relationships. It prevents resentment that builds when you overcommit and then feel overwhelmed. Your honesty helps others understand and respect your journey. The habit of saying no also protects your mental and physical health. Overloading yourself can lead to exhaustion, anxiety, and loss of motivation. Protecting your time by saying no gives you space to rest and recharge. A rested mind is a focused mind. When you say no to non-essential commitments, you create space to say yes to yourself. This space allows you to invest in your skills, your health, and your dreams. It gives you room to breathe and think deeply about what you want from life. Cutting out noise means cutting out unnecessary obligations that distract you. Saying no is one of the clearest ways to do that. It's a way to clean your schedule, reduce stress, and gain control. The freedom that comes with this control is empowering. Your time is one of your most precious resources. Protecting it with firm no's is a sign of self-respect. It shows you're serious about your goals and willing to make tough choices to achieve them. This mindset separates those who dream from those who do. Each no you say builds a stronger boundary. These boundaries form the framework within which your focus can grow. They help you move forward steadily without being pulled off course by distractions or others' demands. It's easy to underestimate the power of saying no. But when you add up the minutes and hours saved, the mental clarity gained, and the energy preserved, the impact is huge. You create a life where your work matters because you protect the time to do it. You don't need permission to say no. Your focus and peace of mind depend on it. Saying no isn't rejection. It's a commitment to what's most important. It's a tool to cut out the noise and focus on what really matters. Number 7. Practice daily meditation to calm your mind and focus. Most people today live with a mind that never seems to rest. It jumps from thought to thought like a leaf caught in a storm, full of worries, plans, doubts, and distractions. This restless mind steals your ability to focus. It drains your energy without you even realizing it. When you want to cut out the noise and focus on what really matters, calming this constant chatter inside your head is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Meditation is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to quiet your mind and sharpen your focus. It's not about sitting cross-legged for hours or emptying your mind completely. It's about training yourself to be present, aware, and in control of your attention. Imagine for a moment how much clearer and sharper your decisions would be if your mind was calm, steady, and focused. That clarity doesn't come from wishful thinking or motivation alone. It comes from the practice of calming your mental noise every day. The benefits of this are not abstract, they're real and measurable. Meditation helps you reduce stress, lower anxiety, and build resilience against distractions. It strengthens the mental muscle you use to concentrate on your goals, making it easier to block out unnecessary noise. Most people think meditation is complicated or only for certain types of people. That's not true. It's a practice anyone can do anywhere without special equipment or expensive courses. Starting with just a few minutes a day can make a big difference. The key is consistency, not duration. A few focused minutes each morning can set the tone for the whole day. It's like pressing a reset button on your mind, allowing you to approach your tasks with calm and clear focus. The process is straightforward. Find a quiet spot where you won't be interrupted. Sit comfortably, close your eyes if you like, and pay attention to your breathing. Notice the air moving in and out. When your mind wanders, as it will, gently bring your focus back to your breath. This simple act trains your brain to let go of distractions and focus on the present moment. Over time, this habit strengthens your ability to maintain attention even in noisy, chaotic environments. It's important to understand that meditation doesn't stop thoughts from coming. It teaches you how not to be controlled by those thoughts. When your mind races with worries about the future or regrets about the past, meditation helps you recognize these thoughts without getting caught up in them. This distance gives you control over your focus, rather than allowing your focus to be controlled by your restless mind. Practicing daily meditation creates a space of calm in your life. In that space, you can hear your own thoughts clearly and make better decisions. Without that calm, your mind gets pulled in every direction by distractions, social media alerts, emails, and other interruptions. The ability to quiet this noise gives you a significant advantage in pursuing your goals. There is also a physical component. Meditation lowers the body's stress hormones, slows the heart rate, and relaxes muscles. When your body is calm, your mind follows. This relaxation helps improve sleep quality, which in turn enhances focus during the day. When you sleep well, you wake up with more energy and sharper attention. This cycle feeds itself positively. Many successful people attribute part of their productivity to regular meditation. They understand that mastering the mind is just as important as mastering skills or knowledge. Meditation isn't a quick fix, it's a long-term investment in your mental clarity and resilience. Over weeks and months, the benefits compound. You begin to notice that distractions bother you less. Your patience increases, you handle challenges with a steadier mind. This state of calm focus is the foundation for cutting out the noise and concentrating on what truly matters. Some may worry that meditation takes time away from work or family. In reality, the few minutes spent meditating often save hours by improving the quality of your focus and reducing wasted time caused by mental fatigue and distraction. It's about working smarter, not harder. Even when life feels hectic, carving out this brief moment to center yourself is a gift to your future self. It's helpful to link meditation with a daily routine. Doing it first thing in the morning, before the rush of the day begins, sets a powerful precedent. It's like preparing your mind for the battles ahead. When distractions come later, you have a calm core to return to. This mental habit becomes your anchor. If sitting still feels difficult at first, start with guided meditations or simple breathing exercises. Apps and videos can help, but they're only tools. The real power comes from your commitment to practice. The more regularly you do it, the easier it gets, and the more profound the results. Meditation also encourages self-awareness. You start noticing the patterns of your thoughts and emotions more clearly. This awareness lets you catch yourself when your mind drifts into negative or unproductive territory. With practice, you learn to gently redirect your attention back to your priorities without frustration or judgment. When your mind is calmer, creativity flourishes. Without the noise of scattered thoughts, you can solve problems more easily and generate better ideas. This clarity helps you see what matters most and how to allocate your time and energy wisely. In a world full of constant stimulation and demands, meditation is a rare refuge. It offers a place where you can restore mental energy and renew your focus. This restoration is critical because focus is a limited resource. Once it's drained, your ability to work effectively diminishes. Meditation refills that reservoir. Making meditation a daily habit doesn't mean your mind will be perfectly still every time. Instead, it means you develop the skill to bring it back whenever it wanders. This skill translates directly into your work and life. When distractions arise, you don't panic or lose control. You pause, refocus, and continue with clarity. Meditation also strengthens patience and persistence. These qualities are essential for long-term success. When your mind is calm, you're less likely to give up or become overwhelmed. You stay committed to your goals even when progress feels slow or difficult. It's natural for some days to feel harder than others. The mind might resist sitting quietly or keep pulling you into worries. That's normal. The important part is to return to the practice each day regardless. Consistency builds momentum and trust in yourself. The space meditation creates is a powerful place to plan and reflect. It's where you can revisit your goals without distraction and consider the best next steps. This clarity keeps your actions aligned with what truly matters, instead of being reactive to every demand or distraction that comes your way. Incorporating meditation into your routine is a clear, effective way to cut through the noise. It doesn't require complex tools or massive time investment, just a willingness to show up for yourself daily. The calm and focus you develop will ripple through every part of your life, making your pursuit of what matters not only possible, but sustainable and fulfilling. The commitment to daily meditation is a commitment to yourself. It's a simple, powerful act that protects your mind from chaos and strengthens your ability to focus on what counts. The results build quietly, steadily, until you find yourself living a clearer, more focused, and more intentional life. Number 8. Limit multitasking and focus on one task at once. There's a common belief that juggling many things at once is a sign of productivity and success. But the reality is far from that. Most people feel busy hopping between tasks, checking messages, switching from one project to another, convinced they're getting more done. What actually happens is the opposite. Multitasking scatters your attention, breaks your flow, and leaves you feeling tired without accomplishing much of real value. The noise in your mind grows louder with every shift, making it impossible to focus on what truly matters. To cut through this noise, the most powerful step you can take is to focus on one task at a time. Your brain isn't designed to handle multiple tasks simultaneously. When you attempt it, your mind switches rapidly from one thing to the next, but this switching wastes time and energy. Every time you change your focus, your brain needs to reset, reorient, and recall where you left off. This isn't instant or effortless. It's draining. Over the course of a day, this adds up to lost hours and reduced quality in your work. The frustration builds because even though you're moving quickly, you're not moving forward efficiently. Think about a moment when you were deeply focused on a single task. Maybe it was writing a report, preparing a presentation, or solving a problem. Notice how time seemed to slow down or disappear as your attention locked in. You felt more engaged and productive. This state is called deep work, and it's where true progress happens. The challenge is that deep work is rare when multitasking is the norm. The noise around you competes for your attention, pulling you out of that state before you reach your full potential. Limiting multitasking means creating an environment and mindset that honors one task at a time. It means resisting the urge to check your phone, skim emails, or jump into a new project the moment you feel bored or stuck. It takes discipline, but the payoff is massive. Your work becomes clearer, faster, and of higher quality. You feel less overwhelmed because your mind isn't scattered across a dozen unfinished jobs. To make this happen, start by deciding what task deserves your full attention at any given moment. Be intentional. Choose the most important thing that moves you closer to your main goals. Once you've identified it, commit to working on it without interruption for a set period of time. This could be 30 minutes, an hour, or even longer depending on what you're doing. The point is to protect that block of time as a sacred space for focused effort. During this focused time, silence notifications on your devices, close unnecessary tabs or apps on your computer, let others know you're unavailable if you need to. These boundaries reduce external distractions that pull you away. You're not just doing the work, you're creating the conditions for your mind to do its best work. It's normal to feel restless or tempted to switch tasks at first. This is your mind's habit speaking. It's used to scattering attention, to chasing novelty and quick dopamine hits from new messages or tasks. But with practice, the habit changes. The more you focus on one task, the easier it becomes to stay with it. Your brain starts to enjoy the calm and clarity that comes with deep focus. When you finish a task fully before moving on, you experience a sense of completion that feeds motivation. Each completed task builds momentum, giving you a clear sense of progress. This feeling is powerful. It replaces the vague frustration of having many unfinished things in your mind. You start to trust yourself to get things done well. Limiting multitasking also improves your decision-making. When your attention is divided, your choices become shallow and rushed. Focus allows you to think deeply, consider options, and act wisely. This quality of work and thought adds value to everything you do. It helps you avoid mistakes caused by rushing or overlooking details. In addition to improving quality, focusing on one task at a time reduces stress. Multitasking creates a mental pressure cooker. Your mind feels pulled in different directions, creating anxiety and fatigue. Single tasking eases this tension. You feel more in control, calm, and capable. This emotional state enhances your ability to deal with challenges and setbacks. Some worry that focusing on one thing slows them down because they can't work on multiple things simultaneously. The opposite is true. When you focus, you complete tasks faster and more thoroughly. You avoid the rework and confusion that multitasking causes. Time spent on switching between tasks is time lost, not gained. It helps to schedule your day so similar tasks are grouped together. This reduces the need for frequent task switching. For example, allocate specific times for emails, phone calls, or meetings, and keep the rest of your day free for deep work. Planning this way respects your natural focus cycles and conserves mental energy. If your environment is noisy or chaotic, it's even more important to limit multitasking. Background noise, interruptions, and constant demands make focused work difficult. The fewer tasks you try to juggle, the less overwhelmed you'll feel. You'll be able to pick a task and give it your full attention, cutting through the noise around you. Over time, this practice reshapes your brain's wiring. Neuroscience shows that repeated focused attention strengthens neural pathways related to concentration and memory. It makes your brain better at ignoring distractions and staying on task. This is not an overnight change, but a gradual and lasting one. It's important to recognize that some tasks naturally require attention to multiple details. In those cases, chunking your work into smaller pieces and handling one piece at a time is still the key. Break big projects into manageable parts and complete each before moving to the next. This strategy keeps your focus sharp and your progress steady. Resisting multitasking also means saying no to certain demands. When you're asked to do several things at once, push back gently but firmly. Explain that you want to give your full attention to the task at hand to deliver quality results. This honesty helps others understand your commitment and respect your focus. Practicing this single-task focus daily builds discipline. It rewires your mind to resist the lure of constant distractions. You become more aware of when your attention drifts and can redirect it without frustration. This awareness is a skill that extends beyond work into all areas of life, improving relationships and personal satisfaction. The feeling of accomplishment from focused work is deeply satisfying. It builds confidence and fuels your desire to keep improving. You begin to enjoy your work more because you see real progress and results. This enjoyment reduces burnout and keeps you motivated for the long haul. Cutting out the noise by limiting multitasking is not just a productivity hack, it's a lifestyle change. It transforms how you experience time and effort. Instead of scattered busyness, you experience purposeful action. Instead of mental exhaustion, you gain energy and clarity. The path forward is clear. Reduce the temptation to do many things at once. Instead, invest your mental power fully in one task until it's done. Protect your focus fiercely. This approach will free you from the chaos of multitasking and lead you toward a life where your time, energy, and attention are devoted to what truly matters. Number 9. Review progress weekly and eliminate unnecessary activities. It's a harsh reality that many people go through their days, weeks, even months feeling busy and overwhelmed, but never really moving forward in any meaningful way. They chase after tasks and commitments that pile up, creating a mountain of activity, yet at the end of it all, the most important goals stay untouched or barely touched. This is a reality check many don't face often enough. Activity alone does not equal progress. If the actions you take don't align with your bigger goals, then you are simply spinning your wheels. The key to cutting out noise and focusing on what truly matters lies in taking a regular, honest look at what you are doing and asking one tough question: what can I stop doing right now? Reviewing your progress weekly is not about just looking back. It's about taking control of your future. Many people live reactively, caught up in the daily demands and distractions, and they never pause to see if those actions actually matter. A weekly review is a powerful tool to regain control. It provides clarity by highlighting what's moving you forward and what's holding you back. It's a reality check on where your time, energy, and focus have gone. To start this process, set aside a consistent time every week, maybe Sunday evening or Friday afternoon, to sit down without interruptions and go through what you accomplished. Be very specific about what you worked on. Look at your to-do lists, calendar, and even your feelings about the week. Which tasks directly advanced your main goals? Which ones felt like busy work or distractions? Which commitments drained your energy without a clear payoff? This review is not about judgment or guilt. It's about honest observation. When you identify activities that don't contribute to your priorities, you create an opportunity to cut them out. Many people hold on to tasks or obligations out of habit, guilt, or fear of disappointing others. But in reality, these activities are noise that cloud your focus and steal time. Removing them frees up space for what truly matters. One of the biggest traps during this review is underestimating the cost of small activities. A quick check on social media, attending unnecessary meetings, or replying to non-urgent emails can add up to hours of lost focus each week. These distractions don't just waste time, they break your mental flow and reduce your ability to concentrate deeply when it counts. When you see this clearly in your weekly review, it becomes easier to say no to these time drainers. After identifying what to eliminate, take decisive action. This might mean canceling certain commitments, delegating tasks, or simply deciding not to respond to certain requests. Saying no is hard, but it's essential for protecting your time and focus. It's a skill that gets easier with practice and brings tremendous relief when mastered. A weekly review also helps you celebrate small wins and build momentum. When you track your progress regularly, you see how your efforts add up. This boosts your motivation and reinforces the habit of focusing on important work. It shifts your mindset from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered. You start to notice how cutting out unnecessary activities doesn't just save time, it improves your energy, mood, and confidence. Another critical part of this review is adjusting your plans. Life changes, priorities shift, and what was important last month might not be today. Weekly reflection allows you to stay flexible and aligned. It's a chance to ask yourself, am I still working on the right things? What needs to change? This ongoing calibration prevents you from drifting into old patterns and ensures your effort stays meaningful. A common mistake is to treat the weekly review as a quick, superficial task. To get real benefits, this process requires focus and honesty. It's like cleaning out a closet. It takes effort to sort through everything, decide what stays and what goes, but the result is clarity and order. The mental space you create by eliminating clutter in your schedule is invaluable. This practice also helps you identify patterns that affect your productivity. Maybe certain days or times of day are consistently less effective. Maybe specific activities drain you more than others. By reviewing these details each week, you can make smarter choices about when and how to work. This level of self-awareness is a game changer for anyone serious about cutting through noise and focusing on what matters. In addition to eliminating tasks, a weekly review helps you align with your energy levels and natural rhythms. Some people find that their best work happens in the morning, others in the evening. When you track your progress and energy, you can plan your most important tasks during your peak times, boosting both focus and results. This process is also a way to protect your mental health. When you keep carrying unnecessary commitments, your stress and anxiety build up. Regularly letting go of what doesn't serve you reduces that burden. You create room to breathe, think clearly, and approach your work with a calmer mind. You don't need complicated tools for a weekly review. A simple notebook, planner, or digital app will do. The key is consistency and sincerity in the process. Write down what you did, what worked, what didn't, and what you will stop doing next week. This written record becomes a powerful mirror reflecting your choices and progress. A weekly review builds a habit of self-accountability. When you know you will check your progress regularly, you become more mindful about how you spend your time throughout the week. This awareness alone reduces time wasted on distractions and unnecessary tasks. Finally, reviewing and cutting out unnecessary activities keeps your goals alive and real. It's easy to forget what you're working toward when life gets busy. This regular check-in reminds you why you do what you do. It brings your priorities back into focus and gives you the courage to protect them fiercely. The ability to say no, to let go, and to simplify your schedule is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. When you do this consistently, the noise around you fades. You reclaim your time, energy, and peace. Your actions become purposeful and powerful. You become someone who doesn't just fill time, but creates meaningful progress toward a life you truly want. The secret to cutting out noise and focusing on what really matters is not in doing more, but in doing less. Less of the unnecessary, less of the distracting, less of the overwhelming. A weekly review is your compass to guide you through this process. It's your chance to clear the clutter and sharpen your focus for the path ahead. Number 10. Surround yourself with people who support your priorities. It's a tough truth many people face every day. The company you keep has a bigger impact on your focus and success than you might realize. Most people don't think about how much the people around them affect their ability to cut through the noise and concentrate on what really matters. Yet, if the people in your life don't respect your goals or understand your priorities, they become one of the biggest distractions you face. They pull you into conversations, activities, and worries that don't serve your growth or purpose. This reality hits hard because relationships are deeply tied to emotions, and it's hard to say no or set boundaries with people you care about. But if you want to focus on what truly matters, you have to be very intentional about who you surround yourself with. Many people find themselves stuck in circles where complaining, distractions, and unproductive habits are the norm. This environment slowly drains energy and focus. You can feel it in your body, your energy dips, your motivation fades, and your mind becomes cluttered with doubts and distractions. These effects don't come from the goals you set, but from the noise others bring into your life. When you're surrounded by people who don't value growth, discipline, or focus, your own ability to push forward diminishes. You begin to question your own priorities and sometimes even lose sight of what matters most. Choosing to be around supportive people isn't just about positivity or encouragement. It's a strategic move to protect your time, energy, and mental clarity. The people who truly support your priorities act like anchors, keeping you steady when life gets chaotic. They help you stay accountable, encourage you when things get tough, and celebrate your progress without distractions. Their presence creates an environment where your focus sharpens naturally because you're not constantly fighting against negativity or competing for attention. It's important to recognize the kind of influence different people have on your mindset. Some people pull you into drama and distractions because they need attention or validation. Others may unintentionally diminish your goals because they are comfortable with the status quo or afraid of change. Supportive people, on the other hand, push you to be better without pressure or judgment. They listen when you talk about your dreams and understand why certain things are non-negotiable for your growth. Building a circle of support doesn't mean you have to cut everyone out who isn't perfect or always uplifting. Life isn't that simple. It means you become selective about who gets to be close to you when it matters most. You invest time and energy in relationships that align with your values and priorities. This can mean seeking out mentors who have walked the path you want to take, or surrounding yourself with peers who challenge you to improve. These relationships become a source of strength that helps you maintain focus amidst life's noise. It also means learning how to communicate your priorities clearly to those around you. Sometimes people don't understand why you need certain boundaries or why you say no to social events or requests. Being honest and firm about your goals can be uncomfortable at first, but it's essential. When you explain what you're working toward, the people who truly care will respect your choices. This honesty also helps weed out distractions and obligations that don't fit your path. A supportive circle provides more than just emotional backing, it offers practical help too. When you share your goals with the right people, you open the door for collaboration, advice, and new opportunities. They can offer insights you might have missed, help you stay motivated during setbacks, or simply remind you why you started when doubts creep in. This practical support turns your focus from an individual struggle into a shared mission, making it easier to stay committed. This kind of environment influences your daily habits and mindset without you even noticing. When you spend time with focused, goal-oriented people, you naturally adopt some of their discipline and drive. Their energy and mindset become contagious. You begin to think more clearly about your own priorities and feel less inclined to waste time on distractions. Your internal standards rise because the people around you set a higher bar for what's acceptable behavior. On the flip side, negative or unsupportive people create constant background noise that undermines your focus. Their doubts and distractions act like a fog, making it harder to see your path clearly. This fog wears you down mentally and emotionally, making it easy to give up or lose direction. Being aware of this effect is critical because it's easy to ignore until you feel burned out or stuck. Surrounding yourself with supportive people also means you become a source of support for others. This mutual encouragement creates a powerful cycle where everyone benefits. When you commit to helping others focus on their priorities, you reinforce your own habits and mindset. It's a reminder that focus isn't just an individual battle, but a community effort. Sometimes finding the right people means stepping outside your usual circles. Joining groups, clubs, or communities that align with your goals can bring new energy and perspectives into your life. Whether it's a professional network, a hobby group, or a personal development circle, these connections introduce fresh motivation and accountability. Being around others who are serious about focus and growth builds momentum that's hard to replicate alone. Creating this supportive environment takes time and effort. It requires clear boundaries, honest conversations, and sometimes difficult decisions about who you spend your time with. But the payoff is huge. Your focus becomes sharper, your energy more consistent, and your path clearer. You become less distracted by the noise others create and more tuned into what truly moves you forward. This intentional choice to surround yourself with the right people is one of the most powerful strategies to cut out noise and focus on what really matters. It's not just about avoiding negativity, it's about creating a fertile ground for your goals to grow. When your environment supports your priorities, everything else becomes easier. Your daily choices align better, your confidence grows, and your progress accelerates. The challenge is real and often uncomfortable. Changing the people around you can feel lonely or risky at times, but sticking with the old patterns often leads to frustration and stagnation. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't often comes down to this simple truth. They surround themselves with people who support their priorities without question. To live a focused, meaningful life, the company you keep is not a small detail, it's a foundational choice. This choice shapes your habits, your mindset, and ultimately your results. Choosing wisely, investing in supportive relationships, and letting go of those that create noise isn't just advice. It's a powerful step toward cutting through distractions and dedicating your energy to what truly counts.